Welcome to Thursday Night with Mr. Pineapple. I am your host, Terrence Ramses, the CIO of Royal Blossom Company, also the host of this phenomenal podcast where you don't know which angle we're going to come from each week. And just a little bit about my background, just in case you don't know who I am. I'm originally from New Brunswick, New Jersey, with a Caribbean background of the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico, and I graduated from Bethune-Cookman University with a bachelor's of science, business administration in 2012. I've been an entrepreneur pretty much my whole life. Started in the fashion industry in the last decade and a half, almost 2 decades. I've been in fashion, designing, also in fashion and arts, and doing different things with that as well. Um, I'm gonna give you a little bit of brief background of the mission of my brand. The brand is named Royal Blossom Company, formerly known as Right Brand Clothing, and the mission is to restore, build, and create. To restore all the wealth and resources that have been lost in our communities, to build up the youth and children that are coming behind us, to create a unique commonwealth of like-minded entrepreneurs who put them back in their God-given purpose and talents. And our brand values to be fun, spirited, and passionate about everything we do in God. So we got some special promotions going on. Next month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I'm going to be doing something very special for you next month and today while a nurse is on the line. So I'm going to go ahead and play this special video for you. Survival, something that you overcome in your life, a trial and tribulation that you have overcome, and you're inspiring others in your journey in overcoming cancer, or if you're currently battling cancer. We're rooting for you at the Royal Blossom Company, and we just want to say God is with you. I'm with you. We're here to support you. We're here to bring more breast cancer awareness to our community and prevention. And we wanted to come out with a special tee for next month. This special shirt is going to have Queen set on the back with a special ribbon on the back of the tee as well. So go ahead and place your orders today. www.royalblossomcommunity.co. And the mission of the brand is to restore, build, and create. And our brand values is to be fun, spirited, and passionate about everything we do. So we fully support you in your walk with surviving breast cancer. Mr. Pineapple, aka Terrence Ramses, the CIO of the Royal Blossom Company. Over and out. So that was the prototype. So I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna show it to you. This is the prototype. It's gonna have some special writing. The final design is gonna be uploaded this week as well. It's gonna look just like this color. It's gonna have this purple logo as well. It's gonna be called the Future Survival Breast Cancer Awareness. So it's gonna be 3 special ribbons on the back, okay? And they're gonna mean something very significant, and it's gonna be very appealing and eye-catching to the people that are watching this. I want you to go ahead and place your orders. The order is $29.99, okay? The order cost is $29.99, and also you will be getting a street interview with me personally, 1 to 2 minutes, about your testimony, how you was diagnosed, how you overcame, did you know anybody that is also battling it, and that comes with this package too. So the price will go up a little bit once the shirt's here, okay? The ship date is October 7th. So you want to go ahead and get your orders in. www. I'm going to go ahead and put my QR code up here. www.royalblossomcommunity.co. Okay, so you can scan this QR code. It's going to take you right to my website, okay? Go ahead, like and share and subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Royal Blossom 2018. Thursday Night with Pineapple. Follow us also on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, the Royal Blossom Company. Okay, so go ahead and order this shirt. Let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if I can pull that thing up. Here it is. So you want to go ahead, get your order in. Here's the QR code. Go ahead and scan it. It'll take you right there. There's also a special code that is going to give you 10% off your first order. Also, okay, I'm going to do another promotion at the end of this. I'm gonna do a very special promotion for this shirt at the end of this. So we have some other promotions that's also going on. I know it's been still hot. We dealing with summer junior out here. So we got our mix and match dad hats 5 400. So that's the Caribbean based red and white. That is the deep soul sister right there. This one is called the Passion Red. This one is the Caribbean based rhythm black, one of the most popular ones as well. And those of you who do not know, we also have an also extension of the brand named Fashion Silk Pay Loft. Okay, so this is the private label company that is an extension of the Royal Blossom Company. So we came up with this concept this year. So basically, what Fashion Law Silk Pay does is the goal is to guide you to wherever you want to go in your fashion career, or simply creating your own shirts, garments for your business, function, or event. No matter where you go on the planet, from the east to the west to the north to the south, we're going to help you get to wherever you need to go. And we got here are our packages. We got students and young professionals. This package is geared towards college students and high school students that's really trying to come outside and start their own vision and brand. Right here, it has all our coaching and everything. So this is going to be a very cost effective program. And here are some of the price points. So you got to definitely start off with the East Wing, which is 150. It gives you all of the different tools and concepts that you will get with this. You have your West Wing. Also, you get your prototype creation, your measurement charts, color code, supplier communications, and marketing promos as well. Then you have your South Wing. You definitely get your hooks, content creation, SEO, brand ambassador growth. Then you have your North Wing, which is the top wing. So you'll have all the different things like that you'll put together your full fashion brand. The total cost will be $22.50 for this program for students and young professionals, and we'll do payment plans for these as well. Let me go back to this. Hold on, go back to it. Hold on. There we go. So then we have the small business and family professionals plan. It's pretty much the same thing. The only difference is the cost of everything. So everything is pretty much the same, but it's a little bit more in detail and in depth because of what we're doing with this. This is more of a hands-on, and the costs are obviously significantly different too as well. So the difference is this one is just named different. This is East Law, West Law, South Law, and North Law. The total cost for this is $6,100. So if you want anything like this, you want to get a part of this program, that's the total cost for that as well. Here is the individual private label services, just in case you need like anything. I can design a logo for you, t-shirt design. If you want to get a bulk production of a private label, if you need hats, supplier contacts, tech pack creation, basic store setup, and all of that other stuff. So we have a lot of different services under the private label, and we can definitely help you out. Like, if you know somebody, you got a business, you got a concept idea, and you want to like mass produce it, we can do that too for you. So yeah, I'm excited for what's about to happen for what's about to happen with the Royal Blossom Company. We working on our road to Fashion Week as well. Fashion Week Milan, and also our International Orlando Fashion Week as well. We're working on some different projects simultaneously. It's been a little bit of a rough year, but it's okay. God is always in control, and His timing is impeccable. So without further ado, I have the pleasure of getting a nurse on the line, getting somebody that I've known for some time now, and she's grown, doing some great things in the community in the medical industry. And I wanted to change it up just a little bit this week and see if we could talk about some health going into Breast Cancer Awareness Month and this new age of cancers and stuff coming out, and just discuss some different things in the healthcare industry and what's going on. She's been doing great things. She goes to church with me. She's an awesome mother, grandmother. She's doing some great things. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on the legend herself, CPR specialist nurse Miss Ebony Jackson. How you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great. How are you?
Yeah, she going to save somebody's life right now. You know, she on the way. She on the way to save lives now. You know, that's what I'm talking about. You
You
on the
know,
way.
look, it does not stop. Look, when duty calls, duty calls. So
That's what
for
I'm talking
now,
about.
at this moment, I hope it doesn't. But yeah.
It's all good, you know. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you from,
Okay.
and your current occupation.
Okay, so I am born and raised here in the beautiful city of St. Petersburg, Florida. I graduated from Gibbs High School. I went to St. Petersburg College and obtained my associate's degree, and then I went a little further and I went to Jersey College and got my nursing.
You breaking up a little bit, Ebony. I don't know, man. Her phone was breaking up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe because she was moving, but I don't know what happened. Let me go say, hey, go ahead and get her back on. I know she was breaking up a little bit, but yeah. See, she's en route to go take care of some things. I know it's been a little bit of a crazy different thing. So, yeah, yeah. So we're gonna give her a moment to get back on. I have a lot of questions to ask her, and we're gonna go for some different things. We're gonna go for some different things. I don't know what happened to her. She might have had some technical difficulties. You know, the phones sometimes when you stream them live, sometimes people's phones be a little acting funny. But yeah, so we got some things in the works with the Royal Blossom Company. So we got some jogger sets also gonna be coming too. So the jogger sets that's gonna be coming, they're gonna be coming real frequently, and I'm excited for what's about to happen with the joggers. So I got the gray jogger, the navy jogger, and the black jogger. So we're gonna use the We Are One jogger, the glowing gray, and the navy one is gonna be called nightfall or nighttime. I might change up the name a little bit. Oh man, I caught my breath. Hold on one second. Oh, catch my breath for a second. But yeah, we got a few different products that's gonna be coming out, man. Look, let me check this out. So we're gonna try to get this red Spanish shirt back out, man. There's some funny stories, man. Listen, when you go to the YouTube page, make sure you check out that story with me and Adam, my model, about that story. Oh, here she is again. Your sound is gone. I don't know. Try to come back on again. I don't know what happened with our sound. Soon as we start talking about, soon as we start talking about the Lord's work, and then we got an interference from everything, which is crazy. You know, it's I don't know what's going on with the sound. The settings is crazy, and I'm just working with her through the chat right now. So I don't know. So when you go to the website, make sure you go place your order. Make sure I'm gonna go ahead and talk to you about this white shirt. This white shirt is gonna be something special when it come out a second time. Also, make sure you go to the website, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, the Royal Blossom Company. Make sure you go ahead and get your subscription in. And we're gonna be growing our channel. We're looking to grow to 1,000 subscribers in the next 30 days. We have 30 subscribers today, which is a blessing. You know, I am excited for what's happening with our company. Okay, so I'm gonna give her a minute to come on. Go ahead, a little bit of vibe music out here too. Mm. for her to come back home. It's funny when you start doing these type of podcast stuff. I always run into some type of interference with people's phones and everything, and technology acting funny. It's crazy. Fashion Loft Silk Pay. I am excited about this consulting agency. It got some private label stuff that I've been working on too, and I'm gonna be able to show you some amazing content. I'm in the middle, in the background. I've been doing a lot of different content creation, also for the Royal Blossom Company, this podcast, and the consulting agency. So it's been a lot of different things just simultaneously happening behind the scenes and getting things in order, and it's a lot of stuff to put together a brand. It's a lot of behind the stuff. It's a lot of work and preparing for all these different events and things that are coming up. It's just a lot of different things that are happening simultaneously. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her phone. Let me see. Yeah, just checking it. But yeah, yeah, man. If you're in the chat, comment below to see what you would like out of the brand. Show me what you would like out of the brand. Those of you who watch your replay, please comment below for suggestions. I'm always looking to grow. I'm always looking to grow. Alright, they think she's back. Hold on. Ain't gonna say your settings good. And then she coming back. And she trying to figure out her settings. We're gonna go ahead and switch it up. I think we might have to switch it up a little bit. She's having problems with her technology. Got it?
Yeah, I'm on here. I was seeing whether you can hear me. I thought something was wrong with my yeah,
Nah,
I'm on
nah.
here. I apologize to everybody that's listening. I apologize. Technology has failed me tonight.
Nah, I
Um,
couldn't hear you. Yeah, we can hear you now. It's all good. That's
okay.
because you got. That's because we doing the right thing. That's this rest is distractions.
I know I'm like, not
It's
tonight. This is my
distract.
first time on a podcast. Not tonight. But yeah, so I apologize to everybody that's listening. Um, but to pick up where I left off, I've been a nurse for 18 years, 12 of which I was a licensed nurse, and then the last 6 I've been a registered nurse. I've covered everything from home care to acute care, um, and to long-term care, skilled nursing, and now I'm pretty much doing home telehealth. So um, other than that, I mean, nursing is it's a huge bull. There's so many avenues to it to where really you can never be bored because there's so much that it entails, from clinical to mental health to to pediatrics to oncology. There's so many different areas. It's really hard to get um, board in the field of nursing. So um, it's a little bit about my background.
Okay, so what made you decide that you want to put your hands on people and heal them?
You know what? So I've always wanted to get into nursing, but I think once I graduated high school and I started doing CNA work, I think that's what made me feel like, okay, maybe I could go a little higher in this. And then once I became a nurse, I realized like how much I absolutely loved it. Another reason was once I actually got into it, there wasn't a lot of like black and brown people kind of doing it. It was you know, it was a lag. So, for me to you know, show even just children my age, I mean younger than me or where I came from, out of my neighborhood, out of my city. Um, I just want to show them like, hey, you can still live on the south side, come out of the south side, come out of these areas and still make it. You can still make it. I want kids to see me. I want kids to say, you grew up in St. Pete too? Oh, you went to Gibbs, and really see like I can do anything I can put my mind to. So
Okay,
that was my motivation.
okay. When did you start nursing?
So I started nursing at 22. I was 22 years old when I started nursing.
So you've been in there for what you say 15 years.
No, I've been in there for 18 years.
Okay,
But
so
I
you
did like, yeah, I did. I was an LPN first and then I did RN. So
okay.
yeah.
What's the transition from an LPN to a RN? What's the
So the difference really is leadership, management, more theory. Um, licensed practical nursing is more hands-on. It's more practical. Like you're putting out most of the hands-on work. At an RN level, it's a little more in-depth process. Like you are the person that everybody is reporting to. So there's no, oh, go get the nurse. It's like you are the nurse. So there's critical thinking, a higher level of critical thinking, um, and basically just strategizing. Doing everything according to the board of nursing and the nursing process. Just carrying out the nursing process actually. So, and being that leader to the LPNs and your assistive staff, should I say? So.
okay? And what is an LPN?
So an LPN is a licensed practical nurse. So it's what we consider like first level nursing. Um, Really, there's a restriction on it. It's certain areas of healthcare that they can't go into. Um, I'll say it's a ceiling as a licensed practical nurse. There's a ceiling to it. Um, they don't have as much of a responsibility as a registered nurse. Once you're registered, the gloves are off. Gloves are off. Then you can probably get a job almost anywhere in healthcare. Um, doesn't matter the field, doesn't matter the specialty. Um, you can pretty much, if you, especially if you have experience in it, or you just have a little bit of knowledge of what it is and what it entails, you can literally get a job almost anywhere. So that's what makes nursing, or should I say healthcare, so broad, um, because nurses are needed everywhere.
Okay. Now, when you say critical thinking, explain critical thinking when you're talking about being a nurse in a hospital or when you in teledoc. Explain that.
So critical thinking is, it's more of an in-depth. It's not um, it's not superficial. It's not anything that someone can see. It's more so. Um, can you hear me, Pineapple?
I can hear you. I can hear you. We can
It's
see, yeah, we can see you and hear you.
okay. I don't know. I think my Wi-Fi acting up again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I ain't
Right.
letting the devil win tonight. I'm gonna keep logging back in as many times as I need to.
Everybody gotta get off that Wi-Fi. That's all good. I had a Wi. Listen, audience. I had Wi-Fi issues. I had kicked Spectrum to the curb and got me some reels, people. You know what I'm saying? I had to do that because my podcast didn't show up from the Wi-Fi, so it's okay. We understand that, so it's quite all right. That's how you know the information is good when these type of situations keep on happening.
Dude, like it is when I tell you the devil trying to get me, but I ain't gonna let him get me tonight because I got some stuff to say to the American people. Okay.
They trying to silence the real one.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my goodness, I've never had so many back-to-back technical issues on. Let's do that work so the computer can shut down and I could go home. Um, but yeah, when in relation to critical thinking doesn't apply to anything that's superficial. Nothing superficial. Everything is super in depth. So usually with critical thinking, what it looks like isn't what it is. It's literally digging down. Okay, if this process fails, what do we do next? And if that process fails, what do we do next? So it's a grooming, and it comes along with just having knowledge and a skill set for the profession to be able to effectively and execute the skill of critical thinking.
Okay, so yeah, so a lot of people, I want to say a lot of people do not do critical thinking that's in that field.
Agree.
So I
I
want
agree.
you specifically to give me an example of non-critical thinking when you're dealing with special patients with special needs and special patients that have to deal with a lot of different like injections, like for example, like insulin, needles,
Okay.
and medications,
Okay.
and when to administer them.
Okay, so I feel like when it comes to just the administration of medication overall, you got to know what you're giving. If you don't know what you're giving, how can you look for a side effect? How do you know what the side effects are? You have to understand the action of the medicine. What is it doing? What is it reversing for the patient? And what is the condition that the patient have and how is it affecting the body? So if I'm giving this medicine and I don't really know the reversal agent or I don't really know what to look for if something is off, that requires critical thinking. That requires a whole nother skill set because anybody can give somebody a pill, right? But if I start turning beefy red in the face or my eye just all of a sudden starts swelling up and it's because I had a tablet that I've never had before, you know, that's considered an emergency, so I mean, I just think all of that ties into critical thinking, all of that ties into the skill set, all of it ties into just really knowing, bottom line, Brother Terrence, what are you doing? Understanding the process of the body, understanding why we have different pharmaceutical companies and why there's 30 different blood pressure pills, you know that are made by 30 different companies. Everything for me, and this is my perspective, everything goes back to the dollar. It goes back to the finances. There's 50 different insulins out here. There's 20 different weight loss meds, 20 different weight loss injections, but everybody looking for what they can profit off of. So, and then, when they administer medicine, it comes in different tiers. So, for instance, which I've been seeing a lot over the last 18 years, is people of a darker hue, African Americans, Hispanics, Puerto Ricans. Lisinopril, which is a blood pressure medication, does not do well with us. But that is a first line medication that a cardiologist or a primary care person will administer because it's cheap. You can get it for $2 at Publix. Like, it's a first tier. So a lot of stuff goes back to, finances, and, you know, just if the patient can actually afford, affordable medicine, affordable healthcare, all of that ties into the amount and the type of medications that, a person can receive. So when it comes to just medications overall, you just have to know what you're giving. You have to know what it is. And if you don't, ask. I think I asked so many questions in 18 years. I'm not shy of anything because I feel like the last thing I want to do is unintentionally hurt someone.
Gotcha.
Because I'm prideful. I don't want to ask, or I'm tired of asking. So, but yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, you got some comments here. Lady Sam said very intelligent. Teacher Keisha said that yes, she is. She said that's I know that's right. Ebony. So let me ask you this.
Okay.
This is a really good question. So
Okay.
how much patience do you have when you dealing with different patients that are sick and irritable when you're administering medication? Meaning that, like, how do you deal with that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Depending on where I am, like, I do telehealth now, which is telemonitoring. I have a panel of 80 patients.
Okay.
So, but all 80 patients don't report every day, which makes my workload lighter. But if I get 20 people, that send in their data, and it's outside of the range that is actually set forth for them, and I have to make a million phone calls, I just make my million phone calls. When I'm at work, I try to eliminate myself and my personal being and how I feel about things, because I have to keep one thing in mind. I'm not here for me. I'm here because of my duty and my calling to help people. So I can't necessarily be at work like, oh, I'm just so tired, I'm ready to go home. I mean, I have days where I'm ready to go home, don't get me wrong, but it's a bigger picture. Now, when I worked on the floor, when I was in skilled nursing, it would be the patient, the nurse to patient ratio would be in the morning, maybe 1 to 15. At nighttime, it's 1 to 30.
Okay.
So
So
we can,
so you're working online as opposed to at the hospital.
right. So when I worked at the hospital, the nurse patient ratio was 1 to 8. But when I went into rehab, which is like a long term care facility, um, it can be from anywhere between 15 patients to 30 patients, depending on the time of day that you're working.
Okay.
So
And so
busy.
are you primarily telehealth or you like mix of, are you a mix?
I'm a mixture. I still do skilled nursing. I still do long term care. Telehealth is my main job.
Okay.
But I'm a worker bee. I like to work with my hands. I like the clinical bedside, what they consider bedside nursing.
Okay.
I love that, but you know, I've been doing
Oh Lord.
15 years of working the floor. I mean, I was burnt, and I'm talking about 15 years. And then COVID hit. So when COVID hit, it changed our world. It changed everything about healthcare. Healthcare is not the same to this day. I was in it before COVID, and I'm in it after COVID.
Okay.
And I can tell you it is not the same at all.
Okay.
A lot different, a lot of legislation changes, a lot of federal changes. We get pressed now more about if we know a patient is super sick and he's on IV antibiotics and the doctor write for a certain type of medicine and it costs the facility too much money. They pressure us and they'll say, well, why didn't you know this patient, insurance is XYZ? it's not going to get covered. You need to call a doctor and get it changed to something of a lower tier, which may not even be effective for the patient, depending on the type of infection they got. So I feel like as a nurse, we're squeezed in so many different angles. And sometimes we can be squeezed on things that we can't even control, but they feel like you got the skill set, you got the knowledge, make it happen, make it work. So it goes back to just knowing how the insurance companies and how the facility wants to be reimbursed. Um, and just think about the people that don't have insurance. So the people that don't have insurance, I mean, it's ugly. It can get ugly for them.
Okay.
So I got a couple friends that actually dedicated, you know, their nursing career into going into um, low income and community health, to service low income so that they can actually make a difference.
Okay.
So
Okay.
um,
Are you
you know,
can people
it's
hire you?
it's a different type of stress.
Got you.
Different type of stress.
Got you. Got you. Can people hire you? I think maybe my sound go off. Can you hear me? I think your sound went off. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Ebony,
Um, I think Brother Terrence frozen.
am I frozen? Hold on. Am I frozen? Hold on. Am I frozen? Was I frozen?
Yes.
I don't know. I shouldn't have been frozen.
Yeah, you were frozen. I was still talking, but the
I heard
time was
everything.
still
I heard everything. I think everybody heard what you said.
okay.
But now I was asking, can people hire you privately?
I have done some private cases. Um, but it's not a preference of mine. It's not a preference. Now I will do it without somebody paying me. I wouldn't do it in a hiring issue. Like if somebody said, "Hey, can you come check on, my loved one? She just hasn't been doing well, and we don't have insurance to really see about her." I'll go. I pop my trunk. My trunk got all my stuff in there. I will pop my trunk and I'll just come, just out of my love for it. But yeah, as far as just private pay, nah. Too many legalities to that.
I got you. So
Yeah.
Keisha said, "This is truly disheartening that people's health risk due for the pseudo problem." Oh, this they've been doing this. They've
Oh,
been
it's been,
doing
oh
this for
yeah.
years.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Um, it's so crazy because every facility wants to make a profit. Like at the end of the day, they will say, this is a business. And I have to remind them that it's your business, but this is my duty to make sure that if if this person is assigned to my case, it's my duty to make sure that they get everything they need from a holistic standpoint, not just let me get you some medicine. I mean, I check mental health. I do it all. I say, hey, do you have resources that you need outside of here? Because just as a nurse, we just not nursing. We doing case management. We doing care coordination. Sometimes we can be the social worker. I've had people that I've had to discharge knowing they had nowhere to go, knowing that they didn't have the insurance and the finances to be even placed in a facility for 10 days. And it's such a horrible feeling because I used to say they're coming back. They're going to come back. They don't have anywhere to go. But some things are just beyond our control. But if I have the capability to say, hey, this home health company, they take Medicaid, just, hypothetically speaking, they take Medicaid. Hey, when you get to your brother's house, look into this. If you need help, here's my cell, and I can help you. Because the beauty of having employment in different realms is you run into those companies that, oh yeah, we take that insurance. Oh yeah, you know I know a little bit of about this, so I feel like doing home care opened up a whole nother world to me. doing home health care, going into people's houses, seeing how they really live, having to call, you know, I'm not going to say DCL, but it's like basically it's like DCF, but it's for adults, saying that their house is not in livable conditions because it looked like the roof finna fall in, but they don't have anywhere to go. So as a nurse, we're mandated reporters. So, but it also opened me up to different resources that were out here in the community that we don't think about every day. And believe it or not, people don't understand the Salvation Army. They more than just handing out Christmas gifts and giving out turkeys for the holidays. Like that company is one of the ones that will stand 10 toes down if you get in the hands of the right person. The Salvation Army.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, so I want to add a few things to that
okay.
medical industry, and I'm big on health, and people on the
Oh,
live
yeah.
they know me, and I'm big on that. I've been huge on that for like last half a decade, and
Okay.
I always take care of myself, but I took my taking care of myself to another level, to
Okay.
where like just asking questions, going to the doctor. I always go to the doctor, and here's the key. So I want to drop some nuggets on this. So you
Okay.
always, everybody on here, this is what I want you to do. I want you to listen. You always, when you're in these situations, especially if you have like a critical condition, if you can help it, go to doctors and physicians and stuff that look like you, please.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times, with us specifically, they misdiagnose us because our body
Absolutely.
is different, our blood is different,
Absolutely.
how our hormones and genetics are just different. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like, for example, when you said like the blood pressure medicine, this is like a 30 or 40 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, he's on the live. Shout out to him. I appreciate your comments and your support. He had cardiac arrest a few months ago, and they had
Okay.
him on like 4 or 5 different medications, and they weren't working.
Okay.
It was just his blood pressure was. It was this is what it was doing.
Okay.
This is what it was doing. It was just doing all this, all this. Literally, it was doing all this. It was high,
Mm-hmm.
then it would just drop. If they
Mm-hmm.
mix the wrong medications with each other, it'll just drop. He'll go into
Absolutely.
low blood
Adverse
pressure.
adverse reactions. And that's a big thing though. That's why I say you gotta know what you're giving.
Yeah.
And sometimes in an emergency situation, there's no time to really think. You're just moving, you're just acting. There's really no time to really think, you know. Um, but yeah, even in the event of your father being in cardiac arrest, the first thing they probably was trying to do was restart that heart.
That's exactly
There's
right.
a lot of medicine that we give as a stimulant because we just want something. Now we can align the rhythm, but we just need the electricity of that heart to spark. It's like jumping a car. Like I tell people, it's like jump.
Hmm.
It's literally like jumping a car.
Yep. You
You
have
get that
electricity.
spark, and
Hmm.
we take it from that. It's the exact same mechanism.
Yep.
So once he got that spark, and they hit him with some medicine, right, to actually increase the stimulation that they receive, then they took that and ran with it. So that could have been another reason why the blood pressure was all over the place because there was no level of stability at that point. It's
Hmm.
just trying to strengthen the electricity in the heart so that it can pump.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. So that's one of the things too. Also, just taking care of yourself, keeping up with your,
absolutely.
whether it's your dental health, your eye health, getting your blood work done, making sure that you just consistent, and watching when you're eating, when you're
Yes.
you
Every year,
and
every year, I advise at least once a year. You should really be going to the dentist, getting like an oral exam at the minimum twice a year. At the minimum, it's every 6 months at the minimum. You really should get a physical once a year, but if you have, pre-existing conditions, check in on yourself. One thing I've seen in 18 years, men, and it doesn't even matter your ethnicity, they do not like to go to the doctor. And I encourage more men, especially more of our Colored men, go check yourselves out. You know, do it early. Like I teach people early, like you have to take care of yourself now. You can't wait till you get in your 40s and your 50s and your 60s and say, dang, I done smoked for the last 40 years. I don't know why I'm coughing like this. Maybe because you smoked for the last 40 years. So it's the simple things. I hate to hear people say, um, oh, you eat meat? Oh, I'm a vegan, I don't eat meat. But you smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. I'd rather eat the meat. So it's one of those things where um on every level you should be taking care of yourself. Even in our black community, people don't like to talk about mental health. It's been groomed for years that you don't tell what's going on in my house. What goes on in our house, stay in our house. What's going on between us and our family, that's going on. But those create generational traumas, especially for young boys. If you don't have an outlet, you don't have anybody to talk to, it just spills over. So I tell people, hey, when you go to the doctor and they give you all that little sheet and it talks about, do you feel sad and do you answer it honestly? You'll be surprised at what you will find out about yourself. you know, Not only just, as an adult taking care of yourself, if you're a parent, make sure you take your kids to, get a physical every year, not just for extracurricular activities, but go check in on your kids, go check in on your teenagers. You know, my daughter, she was 16. I had to take her in to get a biopsy because I had a scare when I was 16, with breast cancer. And then my daughter, she had the same scare 2 years ago. But if I would have never taken her, if I wouldn't have never shown her how to do those breast exams, showing my sons how to do those testicular exams, like really just being honest with them about the things that they're facing the older they get, it's plain out necessary. It's just necessary, and I feel like it starts at home and it starts with yourself. So if they see me taking care of myself as they get older, they'll know it's a necessity to continue to take care of myself, even from under my parents' wing. So I advise it. Go if you haven't seen a dentist in a while, go see a dentist. If you don't have a primary care doctor, inbox me. I got something that look like me. I got a best friend that has her own healthcare company and she service low income. So if you have low income or you don't have any insurance, inbox me. I got some resources for you.
There it is,
If you
fam.
want to learn how to do CPR, inbox me.
There it
I
is.
got a home health company. If you need some personal in-home assistance, you got a child with special needs, a family member with special needs, APD related, inbox me.
So there it is.
Inbox.
You gotta seek. You gotta seek the resources. There's things out there that you.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people, they look at they go like this. They look in their wallet and they just give up. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying? Like, man, I can't afford it. But they're not looking to ask themselves the question, how do I solve the issue? So
Absolutely.
times people in the hospital don't get well because they stressed. They stressed because they can't worry about the bill at the hospital,
They do. I
and
see that.
they're worrying about their personal bills at the house.
Hmm.
So it's a distraction. So they can't get well. So, well, you always want to prepare yourself just in an event of something like that happen, making sure you got your ducks in a row, make sure you got
Absolutely.
health insurance. If you don't, make sure you contact somebody that has health insurance that might be able to help you out in that area, and just having your finances in order and
Absolutely.
taking care of your body because you
Absolutely.
only get one.
Yep. And if you get to, let me know because I can use two. I can use
Okay,
two of me.
that too. And I want to say this too. I said this on my live earlier with Latasha. She's a health coach on the
Okay.
she was a health coach on my live too. So I'm gonna sit up a little bit. Now, I'm meaning that you take care of yourself because guess what?
What?
One of your organs start failing.
Of course. Everything fails. It's a chain effect.
Guess what? somebody gotta die. In most cases, for you to get a organ, especially if it's a liver, heart, or kidney, depending on the person. Okay, so this is serious. Getting on those lists is serious,
It is.
and people don't take that seriously until the doctor come in that room. Kidneys, you were written a kidney failure, and
Yeah,
you know you wasn't taking care of yourself. This is serious.
it is.
Now, and what they do a lot of times, most people don't know. Don't people go pull your medical history now? They see you was drinking, you was smoking, you ain't been taking care of yourself. You
Mhm.
got high blood pressure, you
Mhm.
got diabetes, you had a stroke,
Yep.
you have risk at all this. You got brain disorders, you got nerve
Yep.
damage. You know, you've been in a multiple car accidents. You ain't been taking your prescriptions. You don't eat right, and guess what? Guess where your name go on that list at the bottom,
It does.
and they don't type it in. They write it in.
It does. And the crazy part about it, um, say for example, a person has renal failure, which is your kidneys, right? Perfectly healthy, but your kidneys going out, right? And you say, hey, brother Terrence, our blood types match, right? Because you got to cross and type match. If you can't find, you can have a donor, and if your blood type does not match, you can't get that kidney because your body's gonna reject it. Your blood is gonna eat up the kidney. That's what happens, right? Because the blood types aren't compatible. So if you can't find a good kidney or a kidney in time, right? Think about it. Your kidneys are your filter system. It filters your body. So now you got all these buildup of toxins. You got fluid building up. The fluid is building up in your vessels, which is backing up into your heart. So now you're having acute heart failure because now your heart like, hey, I can't hold all this water. I can't pump effectively, right? So then the heart starts to flood. And guess what it backs up into? It backs up into your lungs. So now I can't breathe. I can't walk. I'm swelling. So it is literally a domino effect. One ailment can literally turn into five within a 5-year span if you don't take care of yourself. So in 2020, you can have kidneys problems. In 2025, you in full heart failure.
This is serious. That's why
You
there's a
know,
couple of people in the community that I talk to about their health. I know they be mad at me. Now I don't care. I be yelling at them too. I be yelling at them. Be men and women. I be yelling at them. And you know, the women a little bit more sensitive, but I be yelling at them. I don't care because I want to see you live for the next 20 years. But they know my intentions.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's
But
good. You got
I
good
tell
intentions
them
on
like, listen, this is serious.
it. It is.
Cause you gotta go. Imagine
It is.
gotta go on a heart transplant. Somebody gotta die.
And you got to look at the statistics on that.
Yeah,
Lung transplants, heart transplants. Look at the success rate.
somebody gotta die though.
Yeah, but the
Heart.
success rate ain't good. So
You
they
can't
did.
walk
They
in there.
you got their heart, and then it's
Look,
rejecting.
look.
They
You can't
don't.
go up in there talking about I want to donate my heart. They gonna take you to jail. They gonna this boy crazy. Ain't nobody gonna. Nah, they gonna take him to jail. Let's get
Nah,
him out.
they gonna say, "Can
They
I
gonna
get a sample of blood for you, sir, so I can?"
get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Guess what? If you match and you want to give it up, how things are going these days, they're gonna take it.
And the
They're gonna
crazy
take it.
thing is, like you taking care of yourself. Like I know in the black community, we love to eat fried food.
We do. I'm guilty of it.
Cholesterol, LDL high. Not supposed to be high like that. And you know, understanding your blood pressure. Your blood pressure gotta make sure your blood pressure is regulated.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Taking care of
Hmm.
this natural remedies. You gotta ask questions. You gotta
Yeah,
advocate
it
yourself
is.
at the hospital and at your primary care specialist. Okay, you have to ask questions, especially we got the internet, we got the information. This is not 1984
It's
where
not.
you don't know nothing, but at the same time, you have to do the research and advocate. You know your body, and you have to go to doctors that listen to you. You know what I'm saying? And like a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of times, they're the first. action is gonna be, you know, prescribing medications or giving you all these alternatives. But they know there's a lot of doctors that do believe in the holistic approach, but you
They
just gotta
do.
ask questions. You gotta take it seriously. I
Yep.
mean, as soon as something feel right, go to the doctor, make an appointment. You know, men and women.
Yeah.
Like you can't say like, dang, I feel weak. Go to the urgent care, go to the
Yeah.
hospital, do what you got to do. Worry about the bill later. You know, have a strong support system and
Yep.
be honest. You know, the older generation, you know, specifically, you know, our elders they're not completely honest. They like to keep that from us. They
Hmm.
be acting like nothing wrong, but we be knowing that stuff be wrong with them. I was like, look,
Yeah,
we
my
want you
my
to heal.
grandma, she's guilty of it. I say, Grandma, your ankle's swelling up. Oh, they'll be all right. They've been swelling for years. I say, Grandma, that's not, it's normal, you know. Ended up finding out that she did have some issues with her heart, you know, because her ankle started swelling. Um, which started she had to get a whole knee transplant because of a lot of other things that were going on. But it started out with her thinking that the swelling around her feet and ankles was normal. In actuality, I'm squeezing. I'm like, Grandma, that's not normal. My fingerprints are staying in your ankles. That is not normal. Oh, they hurt too. But sometimes it goes back to um, just the level of intellect too, you know, because my grandma didn't know that that was linked to heart problems. And I'm sure a lot of our older generation don't know. Like, you know, my hands cramping up could be carpal tunnel or either arthritis or, you know, something as high as rheumatoid arthritis. They just think it's because I done been cooking for 50 years that's what happens, you know. It's wear and tear, which it is wear and tear, but there's, you know, other things going on underneath, you know, just that normal wear and tear. So I think it just kind of goes back to that as well, you know, even in our community, um, with our younger population, you know, it goes back to lack of knowledge, you know. I don't even think it's resources, honestly. Like our younger generation, we can't penetrate through to their heads for nothing. For nothing. Like this whole fentanyl rate is through the roof. And
Yeah,
it's not just it's through the roof. And the sad part about it is, like I said, I got a bunch of friends that work at St. Anthony's, and a couple weeks ago, actually, this was a couple weeks ago, um, he got into it with one of the parents because they brought the son in and they were telling him that they gave him Narcan, which is a reversal agent. And they told him, like, hey, well, this is when we give this drug, this is what's in the system. And the father got upset and said, my son don't do all so and so and so. And it was a big issue. Sometimes it's denial. Like a lot of people think, oh, not my kid, not my son. Oh, and I'm like, see, some things, you know, some people don't tell their parents everything. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, my friend, he was like, you know, I don't know. And he was like, because I actually helped him get a job there. So he always called me when something go wrong. He think that I baited him up. But I just knew he was a new nurse and he was a good nurse. So I'm like, you got to get thrown in the fire. You can't be talking about going into um, a nursing home. You too new. You got to get in the trenches. So he got a job at one of the most prominent hospitals here in St. Petersburg. And he said the amount of not even kids, they're literally like 16, 18, 21. And he was like, some of them, they literally young enough to where they will stabilize them and then they're transferring them to all children. So
Hmm.
he's like, I don't know if this is like the new thing or the new hype. He was like, but it's a plethora of kids coming in here like under overdose precautions. So I mean, even just with that, it goes back to mental health in our communities, being open and honest about the things that transpire in your household. You know, um, being honest with yourself about your relationship with people that are close to you. Okay, because he didn't know his son was stealing prescription pills. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so much that's tied into that story. And it's lengthy, so I ain't gonna go too much into depth, but it just lets us know that sometimes things aren't what they perceive to be, and that's a big issue. So just even out here, drugs and alcohol, they just is consuming the minds and the lives of our younger generation.
Yeah.
And I feel like this when I get old, I, I don't want y'all taking care of me. Like this is what we have to look for. So, um, a lot of the things that's going on now that I'm seeing just in the communities, in the hospitals, um, community service based, all that stuff. They're literally having these. I do a lot of stuff at the Sanderland Center too with National Black Nurses, but we do a lot of this trying to grab a hold of our kids. Grab a hold, get their attention, even if it's for 10 minutes. And just talk to them about these types of situations. So I don't know. I think that's right now. I feel like healthcare is experiencing a crisis when it comes to the drug epidemic and mental health. And there's no age limit on it. There's no age restriction. We talking all across the board here. So those are some of the things that I think that we're seeing just a struggle in. That's a little bit of a struggle for us as clinicians.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
So you gotta understand, drugs is real.
oh,
Okay.
drugs is very
Drugs is real, and I will say this, and the difference uh, between the drugs, one is professional, one is in the street. They same drugs,
it is.
same drugs. They
I feel
same
like one don't outweigh
drugs.
the other. If you abuse it, it's no good to you. Abuse is
Look,
abuse.
look, everybody, all them drugs, same drugs in the hospital, same one. Where
Yeah,
they get it from? Where they get it from? Same drugs. Difference is how they administer it. That's the
yeah,
difference.
that's the
How
only
they
difference.
distribute it is the difference. But the difference, I'm gonna say this too. It was a time about 15 years ago, around like 2009, 2010, when I was in college.
Yeah,
It was an issue. Boy, we was diabolical back then. We used to drink them Four Locos. You remember that drink Four
I remember
Loco? Don't
those.
act like you don't remember where you come
No, I
from.
remember. I'm not look.
Cracking them,
I think we in the same age range. I remember Four Loco.
boy, they
Yeah.
was cracking them things. Boy, all you needed one can. Boy, I know there was people out here drinking 2 and 3 of those things. Bro, they was having a heart attack. I said, bro, we as a collective, we said we are not drinking this no more. We said no. We seen 3 or 4 people. Nah, we good.
Yeah.
Nah, we
Mm-mm.
can't do this. We can't do
Nah,
this. We can't do this. We
I'm
can't.
telling you. I mean, but look, they have more access.
There are a lot more access.
They have more access to everything. Social media, you know, just
Mm-hmm.
social media
Fitting
within
in
itself.
peer pressure and all of that.
All of
And
that.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna drop some stats on about the obesity level. Not
Oh,
in America,
okay.
not in America
Just
specifically,
across
in
the board.
our community. So if
Okay.
you go to blackdemographics.com, for people by black people, you go to the Harvard Review, the Center of Disease Control, which is the
Hmm.
CDC, or you go to the U.S. Bureau of Statistics.
Okay.
So amongst black men, we're gonna start off with the men. About 41% are overweight or obese. So about 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Okay. So with the sisters, this has been circulating through social media. Um, 8 out of 10, 4 out of 5 are overweight and obese. So 80% of our sisters are overweight, and 80% of that number is obese.
Okay.
So when you look at it, you're more likely to get high blood pressure, diabetes, strokes, breast cancer,
Right.
severe cervical cancer, or ovarian cancer. The more
Right.
you weigh, the more problems that you're gonna have, especially when it comes to like um, needing, like you said, needing mechanical parts in your knees,
Hmm.
knee replacement, hip replacement.
Okay.
because your lower body can't sustain your upper body. So every time that you lose weight, that's 5 pounds off your knees. Well, you see people that can't can't um can't move their knees and stuff like that. They get way too much, and the cartilage in their knees is gone. And sisters, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I love you to death. A knee replacement and a hip replacement, you should never see that in your lifetime.
I think honestly, I think for anybody, and I'm gonna piggyback
No,
off
no.
here.
Well,
I'm gonna
I would say men. Men see that in their lifetime because they walking up hills. They on their knees with carpenter, plumbers, construction workers. We see why they're like that because they doing strenuous, dangerous work.
women do too.
They,
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this about your statistics. I'm gonna go look it up.
go look it
Go
up.
look it up. But I will. I do have an explanation for us women. Okay, I have an explanation. It goes back to our hormones. We have a huge hormonal shift by the time we hit 35. Okay, that's the big part that they leave out. Premenopause and menopausal women, the weight that we gain, we can stand in the mirror for 10 minutes and we can see 2 pounds that we've already gained. And it's because of our hormone shift. The older we get, things slow down, menopause set in, our hormones start to drop. We don't have our lutein levels drop, our estrogen level drop. All these levels that keep us thin and cute are fading away the older we get. And then when our best friend menopause peak around the corner, then everything changes. Day to day, it's a struggle day to day. You can ask any premenopausal woman, which is myself, and then any woman that is literally going through menopause or add inadvertently been thrown into menopause because of medications, different conditions. All of that ties into why women rapidly gain weight. We just not out here chewing on chicken bones and throwing them to the side, throwing them to the dog. We literally have a huge battle with the weight between the ages of 35 and 55.
Okay. So now I
So
will
I'm
say
going to
that's
say that
true.
about the stats for us women. So the statistics that they put out, they have to go into depth.
So okay. So let
It,
me
it
tell
has
you
it
this.
has it has to cover the grounds that we battle across the board when it comes to hormones.
Okay. So I say that's true. However, now I'm gonna say this too. 90, like when we talking about disease, and Napoleon Hill said this back in his day. He said 90% of disease is caused by what you eat.
I agree.
So, and I'm gonna say this about a lot, not specifically you, but a lot of our sisters don't have self control when it comes to eating.
I don't have self control when I come to eating, but I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna bring your stat down on that a little bit. I'm gonna say maybe 70% of it is what we eat as women. The other 30% can be a hereditary. It
I
can
would say
be,
that.
people don't think that. So diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, um, any all those things, it's secondary
Mhm,
to something happening. It's secondary to something else going on. So if I inherited heart problems from my father's side
mhm,
and I'm not eating well,
mhm,
then I'm really not doing myself
mhm,
any justice, right? But if I know, it's like a person that has, so let's speak on this. Let's speak on um, cancers because that is one that is like taking over our world. But let's just say cancer. People don't think cancer is hereditary. Cancer is 40% environmental, right? 40% hereditary, and the other 20% can be doctored. That's how I feel. That what we consume.
Okay, so yeah, so I will say a contributing. I'm not saying none of the stuff that you're saying is incorrect, but two things can be true at the same
Oh,
time. Okay, so now when you saying that, I know Lady Sam and Keisha they having
oh
a good
yeah.
time.
I'm looking at the comments on live and she said,
They having a good
yeah,
time in the
you-
comments. But yeah, it's true. It's true. I'm not
it
negating.
is. And
I'm not. Go ahead.
people don't understand environmental toxins.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so let's
yeah.
go back to the deuces, for instance, because I had this conversation um about a month or so ago with an individual, and it rubbed me the wrong way because I had to let her know, like, you have no clue just structurally how they design some of our
You
black
cutting out a little
neighborhoods.
bit, Anthony.
Okay, you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so I had this conversation with a young lady about how the city sometimes is designed to initially fail us, right? Just fail our
Mm-hmm.
community. And if you
Yep.
look at any city, you can go from New Orleans, even St. Petersburg. I use my own city. They put the deuces, which is I hang on the deuces, but they put
Mm-hmm.
the deuces in next to an industrial plant. It used to be by a
Mm-hmm.
train. So just think
Oh
about
yeah.
all the pollutions, the
Oh yeah.
toxins, and everything that we're
Oh
inhaling every
yeah.
day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Child's Park literally has, and I grew up in Child's Park, literally has an industrial plant right on the other side, and the fish market are right
Yep.
across the street. Don't make no
Yep.
sense, right? But
Mm-hmm.
that's where most of our black neighborhoods reside, in
Yep.
industrial areas. And then 20 years later, they say, oh, this person got lung cancer or this young girl got breast cancer. Yeah, because we done held
Yep.
all these toxins that y'all dumped in our communities for the last 40, 50 years.
That is true. That is true
You
because
see?
we was,
So,
I was yeah, that's true. I was watching this documentary called "What Is Health," and they was talking about that in all our communities, also in
mhm,
Hidden Colors too. And three, they
mhm.
was talking about all the roadways, all the
Oh, yeah,
highways are through the black community,
it
like all the
is.
factories. They've
It
been
is.
doing that since the 50s. Now that is true. That's very true too. A lot of that, some of the stuff is environmental. There's lawsuits and things like that that's going on as well. Now I will say this. Yeah, our lady Sam said it's not just a sister issue; it's a human. America is fat. America is fat. Let's be honest. America is fat. That's true. But when we talk about specifically in our community, now I will say this. Now
It's about America is fat. America is
America is fat. Let's get out in the open. Let's be honest. But I'm gonna say this too. Now what you said was true about hormones changing. People change over time.
fat.
People do change over time. Genetics. As you get older, things are not the same. That is true. Here's a caveat to this. Now,
Okay, what's the caveat?
here's a caveat. So now, when you look at the generations that came before us, the women that came before us,
Hmm.
they had more children than y'all did,
They did because we was
and
like,
they
we doing all that. We ain't having litters.
that's how the baby booming generation is so big. We be
I
12,
agree.
14 baby boomers. Big Mama never gained that much weight until she got into old age. Old age, meaning 75, 80.
Yeah.
I'm just being
But
honest.
but guess what?
I
Because
will
of
say the food supply is different, but
okay,
you have to control the food. That's something that you can fully control.
okay. But also
That's
too
both
big.
parties. That's both of us. We gotta control what we eat.
Yeah,
That's both men and women. We gotta control what you
yeah,
eat. Because nobody wants to go to the hospital. Nobody wants to go to the primary
absolutely.
care. We got to control what we eat, what we put
Hmm.
in our body, and that's a temple. Death, like
Absolutely.
you said, death and life is in the power of the tongue. That
It
means eating
is.
food.
It is. So that's where that slogan came from. You are what you eat.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that came from. It came from the same thing we're discussing. If you eat a lot of sugar and you eat a lot of carbs and you eat a lot of fatty, unhealthy foods, then you become that. You can't have a supermodel body and you consuming bonbons every night before you go to sleep, especially
Mm-mm.
once you hit 35. Now, I know that from experience 'cause I used to love me some chocolate donuts, and I was like, oh, these donuts showing up in the wrong areas once I hit 35, So it just goes back to And I'm gonna say this because I stand on this. It goes back to access. It goes back to finances. Some people can't afford to buy healthy food. Healthy food is expensive.
That is true.
So
Now,
just think about our black community and what we do as a church. Like we see people all the time come through those food banks. They can't afford it.
that's true.
So how can
That,
you expect people to really, really put everything that they have into eating healthy? Because for me, if I had to choose between paying my mortgage and paying my lights and buying
yeah,
carrots and salad, guess what? I'm paying what I need.
you gotta pay what you need.
And
Now,
then I'm
what?
gonna eat some ramen noodles that ran me 35 cents. You
That's
see what
true.
I'm saying? So
Hmm.
there's people out there that real deal make those types of decisions every day.
Yeah, that's true.
Every day.
They just having fun in the They having fun in the comments. This is true. I spent a lot of money removing toxins from the ground. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Now I will say this. Now I will say this about people in the inner city. I would say in 2025, people do have access to it. It's not as expensive.
Absolutely.
It's not as
Absolutely.
expensive to eat healthy as people think. You just got to put
Yeah.
your mind to it and ask the right
Yeah.
questions and ask the right people. That means not, you know, going around people that's eating the same bad foods because
Right.
that
I agree.
you got to change your circles and everything like that. Now I will say this: for those who collect EBT, Publix takes EBT. Whole Foods takes EBT. Any of the health food stores take EBT. They all take EBT. Now the decision is you. If you want to go to Save a Lot,
Uh-huh.
Aldi, or do you want? Because there's a lot of people in it. They getting thousands of dollars in
Yeah.
EBT. Let's be
Yeah.
honest with you.
So
They going to buy Doritos.
have you
Okay.
seen what's going on later with that? With
Yeah, yeah,
EBT?
yeah.
So they're cutting. They're
They
cutting.
cutting junk food out. You can't
Yes.
buy them potato chips no more. They tired of y'all. They tired of y'all. They
They
sick
got
of
rid
y'all
of
buying
that.
all that stuff. They sick of you.
But but you're absolutely correct. But you know what? It goes back to this obesity rate. And you know what? It's starting from, I'm gonna be honest with you. It goes back to the actual change didn't come from us in our 40s and 50s and 60s being obese. It's the childhood obesity rate.
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you seen these 7 and 8 year olds?
It's
Like,
diabolical.
it is, and I'm telling you, it goes back to childhood obesity.
Yeah.
These kids are having increased cardiac problems.
Yep.
Okay, their cognitions are affected. They cannot focus. It's an increase in ADHD. An increase in ADD. They're talking about autism and all this stuff is linked to vaccines, which I highly doubt. And that's my spiel for that. I ain't gonna go no more because I don't want to offend anybody that might be against vaccines. Um, but a lot of this stuff I feel like goes back to more people not breastfeeding.
Need that.
Like it starts in the womb. It starts when you are
Yes, it
pregnant with
does.
children, taking care of
It does.
yourself, making sure you're delivering a healthy baby, and making sure that you're giving your baby the best once it gets here and all the way on up.
Yep,
You
yep,
know,
yep.
so
And I will say this, ladies, when you breastfeed and you gotta make sure you taking care of yourself. And during the pregnancy, when your husband, your boyfriend is getting in your behind about mixing all these different food with your cravings, we telling you that because we don't want no complications with you or that baby. I know you be mad, you don't want to hear that. I know you get mad because your cravings are all over the place because your hormones, and we get it. We're
it's
saying
easier
that
said
to
than
you.
done, brother Terrence. You ain't pushed now, baby. So
I ain't pushing it, but I will say that. But we're saying that because we want you to be safe, though. We're saying that because we want you to be safe. We don't want nothing
absolutely,
to happen to you
absolutely,
or the baby. That's why we telling
absolutely,
you that eat the correct food. We know you got the cravings,
I
but
agree.
we're asking you to control that because we don't want you to have any complications at birth. That's why we're saying
Absolutely,
that.
I agree.
We're
I
here to
agree.
help you. We're not here to see. We're not trying to make you feel bad. But when men are saying that to you, we're saying that because of that reason. That's why we're saying that.
But sometimes too, like men have to be supportive of that though.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gonna
Sit back and
support
eat all this stuff in my face, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I really
you.
want some. Like it has to be. Because I
We
feel like for the father, you're pregnant too.
yeah. We gotta
We're going
we
through
got
this thing together, you know.
we're gonna give you. I'll talk trash, but I'm gonna give you the alternatives. I'm gonna give you the alternatives at the same time. I'm not gonna just talk trash to you. I'm gonna say, take that donut. We're gonna get this plant-based muffin. Here you go. It tastes the same. You ain't gonna know the difference, but this does not affect. You can eat as much as you want, but we're gonna substitute. That's all.
Right, right.
That's all.
I agree though. I agree, but yeah, yeah, a lot of
They
changes.
clown this
Even
comment.
even how they're feeding the kids in the school system has changed.
I mean, that ain't the same.
Which I'm all for it. I'm all
Miss
for it. And if
Miss
you ever
Shirley Ann in the cafeteria. Miss Shirley Ann ain't in there no more. That ain't the same. Look, Miss Shirley Ann ain't in there no more. The food ain't no good. That food
look, Shirley was there
garbage.
when I was there. I ate
Miss
good
Shirley
when
Ann.
I ate good when I was in school. I was a little fat girl. I was getting double everything and ain't gain a lick, but I've always been a foodie. I've always loved to eat, but yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of these changes really goes back to how these kids and guess what? You want to know why? You want to know why? It
What's up?
all it all goes back to the money. These
Mm-hmm.
kids are costing more money to keep y'all healthy. Okay, it all goes back to the money.
Mm-hmm. Finance.
Government putting out too much money for these kids, so
Mm-hmm.
in their mind, we finna restrict the resources that they got. So if they're on EBT or any type of government-based program that they can put caps and restrictions on, right? They're doing it.
They forcing you to go to their health food, get you something to eat, get you some
That's right.
salad.
Look, kids eating free and reduced lunch at school. We're gonna shape how we're distributing that as well. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
make that a little more healthy
Yeah. So
because guess what? They're putting out more money than they really want to when it comes to these children.
yeah,
So
but on the way, I know we clowning on here, but like when you eat right and take care of yourself, you also can focus more. You can
absolutely,
get more stuff done, and especially like when you're talking about your relationship with God too, you're able to actually focus more
it's
on
clarity.
the Lord. You got so much clarity
It's
because
clarity.
your body is at full capacity. You could connect. You know what I'm saying? Because
Hmm.
like a lot of people, they can't really connect because their body is so out of whack. Because
Hmm.
your spiritual health and your physical health is like spiritual and physical. They go hand in hand.
Absolutely,
If your physical health is out of whack, it's gonna affect your spiritual health, or vice
absolutely.
versa. And a lot of people in our community really don't understand that. It's like you can't really get the clarity and you can't. Sometimes you can't hear the
Mhm.
voice of God because your blood pressure is so high. You're so focused on your ailments. Your heart is not
Yeah,
doing good. Kidneys are not doing good. But that's why eating the right foods and really taking proactive of your health. And you want to take and you don't want to be a burden on your loved ones. You know what I'm saying? Because what you do impacts the people around you as well.
absolutely,
And it stresses them, and
absolutely,
the anguish that you not taking care of yourself, it stresses everybody else's out as well. So I would,
absolutely. But
and just
when it goes back to, and I don't mean to cut you off, brother Terrence,
you
but
could
it'll leave me real quick if I don't say it while I'm thinking about it. See, cognition. Um,
be clouded in these comments.
it goes it goes back to just feeding your brain, right? You have to feed your brain. You have to
Mm-hmm.
feed your brain, and our bodies aren't supposed to take in as much glucose as it takes in because that
Mm-hmm.
causes foggy brainness. It's gonna give you what you need energy wise. You get that burst of energy, and then you're ready for the day, right? But then you wonder why in the evening you crash because you flooded your system with carbs and glucose and all this other stuff, right? And fats. But I feel like when it comes to just holistically caring for yourself, you can't just focus on one area.
Mm-hmm.
You can't focus on one area. You literally have to take your face and turn it around and look at yourself and say, am I doing everything I need to do to make sure that my full being, whether it's mental, physical, spiritual, if it's intact? And if there's one thing that's out of sync or that's not intact, everything else is struggling.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally like we call it in nursing, we call it a chain of survival. Like
I
I might look good, I might feel good, I might be thin, I might be eating right, I might be everything, but I'm around here taking medicine because my mental health is off. You see what
got
I'm saying? Or I could be the fattest person, but I feel good about myself. I'm good. So I feel like this. All of it is linked together.
mm-hmm,
Holistic healthcare is really what it is. Holistic health is holistic health. It's every aspect of you can be affected if you're not just simply taking care of yourself, eating right, exercise. People don't like to exercise. I want to,
mm-hmm. Yep,
but
that is true.
I've been doing good, brother Terrence, because
You,
like I said, once you hit 35, things change.
yeah, a lot of things change.
Things change.
Now,
So
now I will say something to your lady's defense too. You're 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 the most unique woman on this planet, and you're bigger. You're naturally bigger than every other woman on this planet too. So meaning that what I'm saying is, like, let's for example, let's say you have a 125-pound woman at 5'2" or 5'3".
mhm,
You have that same black woman at there. So you'll adjust that for 10 to 15 pounds because of the genetics. So that it's all about your weight class. You got to
right,
understand where you fall because you're bigger. You're just
absolutely,
naturally bigger. Okay, so
absolutely,
that's where if you understand in that you'll most people don't know that about our culture, but you're naturally 10 to 15 pounds bigger. Like so a person can be. There are women that can be like 170 pounds and be in shape and be healthy just because their ethnicity and they also their height, weight, and dress size will be the same. It'll make sense
right,
because of your body type, because of your curves and your weight and your muscle.
right,
And a lot of
right.
times you have a lot more muscle than other groups of women. So
Okay.
a dress size 2 would be a dress size 6, and it looks the same, but it's just a little bit bigger. So I
Yeah,
will say that too.
I want to say this too. Um, there's a there's a food guide, right? Because I get some people that go, well, I eat this and I feel like this, or I eat this and it always make me feel bad, right? People don't understand in the backdrop of things, there's foods that are not compatible with your blood type.
Yeah, there is. There's a whole book.
There are there's a whole book.
Thank you.
So
Look
so
at you. I
so
was gonna ask you
there's
that.
if
Yes.
if there's people out there that like every time I eat like for cabbage, right, which is the natural gas producer type food anyway. But I get some people that say, "Oh, it just gives me so much heartburn," or every time I eat it, I just don't feel good, or you probably on another level can't tolerate that particular food. Or every time I eat spinach, I just feel funny the next day, or just anything. There are foods and there are diets that are linked to blood types.
Mm-hmm.
I would say people know your blood type. If you don't know your blood type, donate blood. Also, to donate blood, donate blood, donate blood, donate blood. If anybody can, if y'all see those red buses out here and you have at least a good hour to spare, donate blood. You'll be surprised at how you can save somebody's life with just a pint of blood. But that's my
Oh,
story. But
okay.
if you don't know your blood type, ask your doctor to run a type and cross match for you next time you go. It can just be a random. And
Got you.
and
The
literally
book.
research the foods that are good for that blood type and the foods that are not. You'll be surprised at the foods that are not good for our blood type, especially
Yep.
as black people.
Yep. Yep. So the book is called "Eat Right for Your Blood Type."
Yes, it is.
That's what the book is
That's
called.
what
It's
it
about this big. So it shows you each blood type: A, B,
is.
A negative, B positive, B negative,
Uh,
O negative, O positive. It'll show you all of that. Those food types. If you follow that, you'll get the best out of your body as well. And I
and
would say,
it has a lot to do with the weight we gain too. So
mhm,
another thing, and how well we absorb certain nutrients from that food. Because think about it, our blood is tied to every organ, every system that we have. If our
mhm,
blood says yes, I love it, it's gonna absorb it in and take it, and it's gonna help us on a more of a chemical level.
mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
so
Yep. Yep. Also, glucose is oh, yep. Yep. There's also
it
glucose
is.
in everything. See,
That's
but
why
there.
it's easy. It's easily to overconsume because it is in everything.
Yep.
It's in everything.
and you gotta know the differences between the different sugars too. There's
Absolutely.
about three. There's three different sugars. There's glucose, galactose, and fructose. You gotta know what the
Mm-hmm.
sources where they're coming from.
It's sucrose
Okay,
too.
so your
Sucrose.
fructose come from your that comes from like your fruits, your vegetables, your
It's
I think your
natural sweetening.
so your galactose comes from like your carbs and stuff. So you gotta
Mm-hmm.
avoid like the carbs and stuff, like the breads and all
Mm-hmm.
of the pasta that's made here. Yeah, that's on the shelf, but it's organic pasta. But the pasta is made here. But that's the stuff that was causing the weight gain. It's mainly the sugar. So the solution to the weight gain is, it starts in the gut, cleaning out your colon and cleaning
Mm-hmm.
out your gut health. Once you clean out your gut health, because your immune system is in your
It's
gut.
in your
When
gut.
you,
Yes,
so
it is.
when you clean that out, you'll start losing weight. So you like for example, your spinaches and your waters, your fruits, understanding your body type, doing a little bit of exercise, and most importantly, going back to the spiritual end, fasting. Get
Yep.
all the impurities out of your body.
Yep.
So once you
Yep.
get the impurities out of your body, your weight will stop dropping down, dropping down. It'll
Mm-hmm.
drop it down, and you just gotta know you gotta be consistent because when you're starting to lose weight, this is where it gets discouraging for a lot of people. They'll lose 15, 20 pounds in like a month, 2 months, then they plateau for a couple months.
Mm-hmm.
So what is happening when you plateau, your body is readjusting to
It
all the
is.
toxins. It's all the toxins that's been in your body for that long. What it's doing, your body is starving itself. It's using all those bad cells and then turning them into good cells and flushing it out of your body. So what you're doing is it's cleaning and filtering out your system. Once you continue to stay the course, you're gonna start seeing that weight gonna start dropping off. Because once you get those impurities out, your weight is gonna drop off just like that. You
Yep.
like, but people give up in that plateau stage. They be like, by a month they ain't lose nothing. 2 months they ain't lose nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But you gotta understand too, you've been eating bad for the last 2, 3 decades. All that
Right.
stuff backed up. It's
Yep.
backed up. All in your body. It's in your arms. It's in your legs. It's in your stomach. It's all around your heart. It's all that stuff is coming out. So when you start fasting, what it does is breaking down all that stuff and it's
It
cleaning
is.
out all that. You're gonna start using the bathroom more. That's why you get you some detox tea, like a
Mm-hmm.
dandelion
Or
tea.
just some,
Oh,
some probiotics every day.
yep,
Just
and
some
it's gonna
probiotics.
clean you out.
Yep.
It's gonna clean you. Oh, well, you gonna think something wrong with you. Like ain't nothing wrong with you. It's just clean, but it's just cleaning you out. It's just cleaning.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep, yep. So yeah, they loving it in its comments. Yeah, you gotta have a little bit of controversy in the comments. It's all good. You gotta create some drama so they'll come back. Since they talk about it, I saw my food list and my blood type, and I was looking crazy because a lot of the things I would eat was on the no list. No, no, it's
Yes.
true. It'll start. What happens is your body start having reactions to what
Hmm.
you eat. So with
Oh
me,
yeah.
I can't have citrus fruit. I just dry out like a prune.
Right.
I get real ashy. It's just not good for my system. You just gotta know which foods and which foods not to be for your system. So
Right.
when
But
you
but there's
consume,
a difference. There's a difference between a blood type saying no and your system just saying, "Oh, this don't agree with me." Because usually, if it's on the blood type level, some people say, "I ate something the next day, my whole body was hurting when I got up." That's how you know it's a no on the blood type list. Like you will ache in places you'll be like, "Why is that aching? That ain't aching. I don't know how long." It's literally your whole system saying, "No, no, no, no." Because on a chemical level, right, on a cellular level, it's producing an acid in
they
your
clown,
cells.
they clowning in these comments. Go ahead.
It's it's producing a it's producing like an acid in the cells,
Yep,
which
yep, it
creates,
is.
yeah, which
Mm-hmm.
which settles in our joints, settles everywhere, and it just don't make us feel good. Like systemically, you feel bad, and it's easy to align it with, oh, I ate a bowl of collard greens last night. That did not agree with me. Maybe I had too much pork in it. Maybe I had no. Your blood said you can't have collard greens. It does not agree with your blood type. So it just goes back to just knowing your body, keeping up those checkups. Donating blood, right? Because once you donate blood, they're gonna give you a blood card. It's gonna have your blood type on there. It's gonna have everything you want to know about your blood on that card, which makes it easier each time you come back to donate blood.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but just donating blood, and just really, really, really holistically staying up on your health. The more you know about yourself and know about your body, the better you can take care of it. And the longer
Yep.
you live,
Oh yeah,
the
absolutely.
longer
So
you
here,
live.
Auntie talking about tea can't eat. So let me tell you about this story before we close. So there was. Let me tell you this story. This because this is funny. This we gonna clown. We gonna do a mix of controversy and all that on this podcast. So what happened was one day. It was about 4 years ago. My son. We went to the auntie house. I went to auntie house. Right. We spent the night over there. And me and Bishop was in the back. We was on a patio talking. We was in the summertime. We was talking, chilling. T was upstairs, right? Him and Lady Sarah were upstairs, right? And somehow they ate. He ate something. He said he can have the shrimp or whatever. So he had the shrimp. I swear, it was like 40 minutes later, his eye was closed like this. He was like somebody punched him in the face. You
Oh
know,
yeah, that's a seafood allergy.
as a seafood, it was bad. He can't have selfish. I can't have selfish either. So she was yelling to the top. We came inside. She was yelling to the top of her lungs. Boy, what happened to your eye? She was like, boy, what happened to your eye? I'm good. There ain't nothing wrong with it. What happened to my eye? I'm like, what you mean? So we go upstairs. We look at that like, boy, what did you do? He's like, I had some strip. Boy, you know you can't have strip. We had no EpiPen, so we had to give him some Benadryl. Like 2 days later, he was fine. It
Okay.
just looked like he had a limp eye. I mean, she was stressing. I like we. She was
And
trying.
look, and it's the crazy part about having that type of reaction, because that's literally what we consider anaphylactic, right? And it was on the point of, if he would have ate another one, right? It probably would have closed up his throat. If his
Mm,
eye swelled that big, but guess what? It'll swell fast and it takes forever to go down. It make
yeah,
you feel like the fastest it swelled up, the faster it should be going. It takes forever to go away.
yep.
And it really only, once it weans out of your system, is when the swelling will actually minimize. But yeah, so do you have an EpiPen now?
Yeah, I got an EpiPen for
Okay.
him. They for sure. Dr. Stephen Williams done got him right. You know, that brother done got him right. We give him, he Nigerian. He said, yeah, we're going to give you EpiPen. We're going to give you EpiPen. We're going to give you EpiPen. So, yeah, my EpiPen. He good now. But I was like, boy, you can't be stressing them out no more. They was stressed. And I'm talking about, I had the same experience. Like, let's say, for example, if I drink like a Pepsi or something like that.
Okay.
Let's say I won't have that type of reaction, but like all the moisture in my skin and be just stripped for like
Yeah.
4 or 5 days. So I can't have like a Pepsi like in its purest form. I can't drink that type.
Yeah.
I never do it
Okay.
anyway because that's just that like lemon juice in its purest form. Can't
Yeah.
do it. Oranges, tangerines, grapefruit. I can't have none of that stuff in its
Okay.
purest form. Like drink it. You're like, boy, what? Like you just got out the shower. What's wrong with you? Why? They look at me like I'm ashy. You okay? You okay? Yeah,
Yeah.
he swelled up like a blowfish, scared me half to the yup. He said look, they clowning these cause look like Mike Tyson hit him. Yup. He was blind in one eye. He sure was. He was blind. Okay? He was blind in one eye. He sure was. He was blind too. And he was blind for a couple of days. I'm like, they make it look like he getting abused and stuff. Like, well, ain't nobody doing nothing to you. You look
Yeah.
like that. He had me stressed out for real. And when Auntie typing in this TND, she typing in this chat. Yeah, that is good stuff. So there was a comment earlier from Eddie. You
Okay.
know anybody that's in Bradenton? He said somebody in Bradenton. Hold on, let me find a comment. Here's the comment right here. You know anybody from a nurse practitioner that is in Bradenton?
From Bradenton. So I have a friend. Her name is Benzie. She's a nurse practitioner down in Manatee County. Um, if he wants, he can inbox me and I can release her
Okay.
information to him. But
Yep.
her name
Yep.
is Benzie.
Okay. All right. There you go. Sounds good. Then you got, let me see, let me go back to, and then my dad said, God has Ebony, awesome message to the people, Adabo. Okay, just going through the comments real quick. These some good. Say we dropping some wisdom, dropping some wealth knowledge. This comment sticks out to me the most. This is bringing forth some conviction. I love that. I love the change of
Yeah.
this type of stuff. Like even though we have a little bit of disagreement, I like this
Hmm.
kind of stuff because what it does is it forces people to really look in within themselves about
Hmm.
their health and take it a lot more serious, and they want to care
Absolutely.
for their loved ones, and you don't want to be a burden to the people around you because you're not taking care of yourself, which is really good. I'm
But
glad Keisha you're really seeing this.
yeah, but I want to say this to Pineapple. Brother Terrence, I want to say this. So being a nurse practitioner school now, the stuff that they're teaching us is not designed for healthy people. I'm gonna say that again.
Yeah.
It is not designed for healthy people. They want people sick. They make money off of sick people. The healthier you are, the less money you're putting into.
That's money. Yep. Yep.
There's less money that they're profiting. There's less money that's going towards pharmaceutical companies. And then they start shaking in their boots. They don't want you healthy. They're not gonna give you the real remedy to being healthy, right? You're not gonna get the real remedy. The real remedy starts with you understanding your body and just what it needs on a basic level. What do I need? What do this body of mine need? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I understand my body and I understand what it needs, regardless if I've developed the ailment or not, right? There's so many holistic remedies that don't require medication. When I tell you God put everything in this earth for us, like a lot of stuff that we learned in healthcare, right, literally comes from ground remedies. It's not anything that's like chemically made. It's not chemical based. You literally can take a shot of apple cider vinegar and with something with garlic in it every day to manage your blood pressure. They're not going to tell you that because apple cider vinegar costs $2 in the store, and
They
vinegar
give
you
you
can
a
get a
pill.
whole clove for 50 cents.
They give you a pill. It's pill better for you.
You
What
can
you
get
mean?
this $100 bottle of pills though, right? So just small stuff, even like skin problems, like eczema, like it's so eczema is tied to diet.
Yep.
Okay, people don't understand that all that stuff that really goes on, autoimmune issues and stuff, that
Yep.
stuff can be induced by things that we're eating,
Mm-hmm.
environmental toxins. So you just have to know on a different level, like what's needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what?
Absolutely.
How can I? What can treat? Okay, I got rosacea. I got psoriasis. What can help with this? That I don't have to go and spend $300 for some high price cream every month. You know. So I just kind of feels like you have to know what's going on with you. The only way you're gonna know what's going on with you is preventative help. Going to get those physicals, those dental exams, okay, those vision exams.
Yep. Yep.
Just
That's true.
like really like stand up on pap smears, stand up on testicular exams, getting those like even when we get older, once you hit 50, you gotta get a colonoscopy. Why? Because you get little cancer polyps in your colon because it's been
Yep.
working for the last 50 years. You
I
see,
ain't doing that. I don't want to do that.
yeah, and
Sticking that
men,
in my butt. You
I'm
ain't
telling
doing it.
you,
I'm sorry. They gotta figure
men,
out a way. That's what they say.
they do
Man,
need to figure out a different way. I mean, come on, man. I gotta feel degraded. You know, some men feel like, come on now. But I feel like if you know that is the biggest thing that the stigma behind getting a colonoscopy for a man, why haven't they developed another way? Because there is another way. You can go this way. They do it all the time when they do endoscopies and stuff, and they want to go into your stomach. Guess what? They put that light a little longer, and they can go down into your
it's
colon.
just easy. It's more. It's easiest. It's
There you
easier. It's
go.
right
There you
there.
go.
It's
There you
right
go,
here.
brother
Man.
Terrence. There you go.
And
There
you
you
see,
go.
they
It's
doing what's
not about
easy.
the patient. It's about who's actually performing the procedure and
Yep.
what's easier for us and what costs you more money. Because now that I'm doing this, right, I got to put you in under sedation. I got to do, I got to prep you for I think it's a day I don't know if it changed, but they used to be drinking this Go Lightly stuff for the night before, starting like the middle of the day before, all the way to the next day to clean out your system so they can be able to see what they want to see. You
Gotcha.
see what I'm saying? So it's so much that's tied into just preventative care. Preventative care, that is really the key to being healthy.
Gotcha.
We want to get ahead of the problem. We want to look out for things before it becomes an issue, not
Yep.
working backwards and saying, "Oh, I'm a diabetic. I wonder why this was going on for 5 years, and I go to the doctor and now I'm a diabetic, and now I
Yep.
have to go backwards. Now I got to figure out how to maintain this condition that probably could have been prevented. Type 2 is preventative.
Yep.
Type
Yep.
1 isn't. So it just goes back to just
Yep.
preventative care.
Preventative. So you want to take
Preventative care.
control of yourself. You want to take control of yourself because
Absolutely.
said what she said is key. You can't. They can't control. The healthier you are, the less money they make. So the
Hmm.
more you control yourself, the
Yep.
less they can control you. Because
Yep.
honestly, when you're not healthy, you're easier to oppress. Just
Absolutely.
around you, with people around you, and at the hospital. And it's lonely. It's dark in there. I've been in the hospital field. It's dark in there, boy. It's scary. That's a dark place, boy. Boy, people evil in there, boy. Ain't no good God ain't in
And you
there.
know what? And the thing about like just not
uh,
overall health conditions, but knowing like I got a condition that causes me to be impatient. So now I got to go to the hospital, or now I got to go to a rehab facility because for years I didn't take care of myself. I'm gonna be honest with you, adaptation. If people don't adapt to the changes that they're experiencing, right, it alters their quality of life greatly. I've
yeah,
seen people that came in for a replacement and literally did not adapt well to their situation and they die off. It's like taking an animal out of its natural habitat and putting them somewhere else,
yeah,
right? They don't adapt. So if you don't adapt well to maybe a new condition that you have, if you don't adapt to maybe a different lifestyle, my family want me to move to Atlanta. I'm not moving up there. I don't care how many of y'all move up there. I need sunshine, beaches. I need it. That's me. I know what I need. So I know if I was to move to a colder climate and I already wear a jacket in the summertime,
mm,
I ain't gonna have no job up there. You see what I'm saying? So, but I know that's what I need, right? So it just goes back to knowing what you need and adaptation. If
yep,
you don't adapt, it dies. It's like putting a flower in the window and expecting it to get sunshine through the blinds. It ain't enough. It's gonna die.
got
So adaptation is a big thing as well. And like I say, it just really goes back to really just on a preventative level, just really taking care of yourself. Like I say, a lot of us younger, we do young things, but the older we get and the wiser you get and you know better, you do better, you know,
you better,
and you do better.
you better.
So,
Yeah, you want to stay away from the hospitals and always refer back to that scene in Soul Food. We always want to roll for when Big Mama was in the hospital and all that
mhm.
stuff. We don't want that to be you. That's why these conversations are so difficult sometimes. Okay, don't want that to be anybody in our family, male or female. We don't want that for you because them doctors, they ain't got no compare. They be diabolical. They come. I'm sorry to tell you, you got stage 5 cancer. There's nothing we can do.
And
They
walk
don't
out.
got no compassion. And I'm like, you need to ease it in. Y'all just
Look, and leave us nurses to pick up the pieces because we standing there
and they
like,
walk
okay, so how are
walk
we
out.
supposed to walk away from these people like
And
that?
then they walk out and go on about their day,
Yeah,
go to lunch like they.
it's real. It's real.
But some people, a lot of people, it's unfortunate. A lot of people in the healthcare industry, they in it for the money instead of in it for purpose.
Yep,
You know what I'm saying?
I've seen it.
A lot of
I've
people are
seen
not
it.
in it for purpose. They're not in it for the right reason. It's hard finding people that's in it for the purpose because the people that actually care and go against the system, they stress and vex them the most,
Hmm.
and they force them to quit, and they just
But
you
this the
know
thing: the ones that's in it for the money, they don't last long. I watch them drop off all the time.
they drop off all the
I'm like,
time.
you
But
only been a nurse for 2 years, and you at this level of stress because you in
yeah,
it for the wrong reason. or it takes for somebody to call them, make a racial slur, and then they go all off, and now you done lost your job. Because guess what? That comes with it. You got people that's in their 80s and 90s and 100 years old wondering why they got a black charge nurse.
Like,
I
look.
think I was on Bible study one night and I was talking about, how that happened to me. And they was like, can I get, they want to see the charge nurse. I walked out and walked back in very sarcastic, but I just kind of feel like, um, hey,
So it said they said somebody said something racial to you.
oh yeah, all the time. I
Oh,
don't
so
bother me. I tell
also,
people I've been black all my life. I haven't been any other color. So it's kind of hard to offend me and call me black or call me a nigger or, like that. It's kind of hard to offend me because I've never been anything else and I don't even know if I want to be. So I'm comfortable in my skin. Is that the worst you got? Because if that's your best, then we're going to have a good night. I tell them it don't bother me. But at the same time, um, you have to just know who you're dealing with and the era that they grew up in.
so you didn't pop Miss Joanne for saying what
I
she said.
I got a little hot.
You were like, you about pop. You go, this ain't the '60s. I will pop you.
I mean, I've experienced it so many times to where it's kind of like I'm conditioned.
Like, bro,
You
you
got
said,
the
bro.
ones, and then you got the ones that don't say. You got the ones that don't say. They just act funny with you, or they'll say, "Oh, well, don't touch me. Don't touch that. I'll have my wife do it." And I go, "Okay."
Like, bro, you sick and can't take care of yourself. I don't understand that. That's, you know what?
Yeah.
All right, we gonna have to go on. We gonna have to do a part two about that. That's a
Well,
whole nother story.
you'll be surprised at the things that we just see just as black nurses, and it can be male or male. I know the black men that are in healthcare. I know they catch it the worst.
Absolutely.
They catch it the worst because it's a stigma behind men being nurses. They feel like it's a feministic career, and it's really not. I
It's
love them. Hey, come up,
it's
lift this guy.
unisex.
Come up, this guy on the floor. But they, I just think it's society how they view nursing because it's supposed to be nurturing and it's supposed to be soft. It's like I said, it just goes back to the stigma behind nursing.
Yeah, well, it's I don't know. It's just see, and both positions are unisex.
It
It,
is.
people be tripping. It's just um, this position. I guess they feel like it's the natural order, but whoever is good at what they do. Whoever's getting the job done, who's performing at a high level. You know what I'm saying? A male can be a
Absolutely.
nurse. It's like a woman can be a doctor. She can be the
Yep.
head doctor.
Yep. Yep.
But it's more common for the men to be the doctors, and the more common
Women
for
to be the nurse. Absolutely. And like I
but
said,
nothing is it's that's how it's set up, but it's not absolute. You know what I'm saying?
right. Right.
Some people can't. Some people are so prejudiced to the point where they can't look past that.
Mm-mm. And we get it. We see it all the time. I see it all the time. But I mean, I've even seen it on a pediatric level where a dad, and this was actually, I'm in this group called Black Nurses Rock. And this nurse was like, she was a new nurse, bubbly. She was black. She um, had got a job at a pediatric, no, she was actually in a hospital on the labor and delivery unit. It wasn't a pediatric facility. It was a
Mhm.
labor and delivery unit. And she was after you have the baby, you're in like, it's called mother baby. She was in mother baby and she was in there educating the mom
Okay.
about care for the baby. In the umbilical cord, dad walked in, had a frown on his face. The next day he came to work, he had written on the board, he doesn't want any black nurses to care for his new baby and his wife. But the wife had never said anything. She was taking in what the nurse was saying. So it was in our Black Nurses Rock group, like, how do I respond to this? And I said, I commented and I said, come off of the patient.
Is this
Girl,
group
that's
on
work for you. Come
Facebook?
off the patient. But I think she was so distraught by him putting that up there. But again, she was a new nurse. She hasn't really. I mean, that's through any area of healthcare. People just have a preference. That's how I see it. People just have a preference.
You have any closing remarks?
I do preventative care.
Okay.
Preventative care. Get your annuals, get your physicals every year, get your dental exams every year. Know what is required at what age group you're in. So if you're middle age, you got colonoscopies, you have um, um, I forgot the other exam that you get at 50, but it's a couple of exams that you get at different age ranges. Women, those mammograms, show your children, your grandchildren. Um, like I say, it all for me, it all goes back to preventative care.
Gotcha. All right.
That's
I'll say this too. Then we're gonna head up out of here. This is a great discussion, everybody. Everybody seemed to enjoy themselves, and I had a great time with this discussion as well. I would say, gentlemen, look. If you from the baby boomer generation, I hear you don't like doctors. We want you to help. We're gonna get you some black doctors, nurses, and dentists, all that. Go get your health checked out. Go get your prostate checked out. Go get your colon checked out. Go get your blood pressure checked out. Go get your blood work. You know what I'm saying? Your
oh
grandkids
yeah,
want you here. Your children want you here. Your spouse wants you here. I want you here. I'm here to support you.
that's right.
Especially if you're close to me. If we gotta go to the doctor together, I'll go to the doctor with you. If you in the hospital, I'll come see you. But you gotta take control of your life and your body and your health because you only get
Absolutely.
one time to you only get one life and you get no redos. And you wanna make sure you take good care of your health. It could be the ladies too, the same thing. I'm here to support you. I'll be in the hospital. If you need some type of if you need somebody to listen to, somebody to talk to, vent to, I'm here. And I just want you to take care of yourself. That's why I was stressing about it. I know I've been stressing y'all out on this live a little bit, but that's okay. It's because I love you and I want to see the best for you, and I want you to really, really, really get the best out of your body and to get you to live for a long time and get the best out of your longevity, for your health. Because that's
Okay.
all we got in this life to get us through is our health. If we
I'm
got
saying.
bad health, money don't mean nothing. If you got bad health and you're
Right.
no use to nobody, you're not even useful to yourself. You can't be useful to nobody else. So this
Absolutely.
was great. We gonna have to do a part two. There's some other questions I
Part
need
two.
to ask. We're gonna do a part two of this because
Part two.
they loving these comments.
And we can do a part three and a part four, and we can just touch on
We're gonna touch on
different
different.
areas of healthcare. We can get specific.
So tell everybody how to find you if they got any
All
questions.
right. So if you want to reach out to me, I have a website, healingheartcpr.com. Um, also, you can find me on Facebook. Is Ebony Larry Jackson. Inbox me if you have any questions. If you're looking for someone that's locally in St. Petersburg that is of our ethnicity that takes no insurance, low insurance, and insurance, depending, it doesn't matter what your insurance is. She's actually located on Central. Her name is Tamika Polite. Um, she's a good friend of mine, and her company is called Elephant Healthcare. So if you need an immediate doctor or nurse that um, you might have some issues right now and you may need to contact her, feel free to do so. And like I say, if there's anything that we discussed tonight that you have questions on, or if you want me to elaborate on, feel free to inbox me. I can definitely put some things in the chat for you if you need it.
Yeah. If you have any problems, reaching out, I'll get in contact with her. She'll put the information
Absolutely.
in the chat. She checks her inbox. I check my inbox, and we'll just
Absolutely.
go from there.
All
Ebony, this
right.
has been great.
It has.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in. This has
Absolutely.
been a phenomenal. Though we had some technical difficulties, but we good.
Look, I apologize again.
It's
I
all good. No,
apologize.
no, this happens because when this is good information, the information gonna be real good. That's when these issues start
Our
happening.
technicalities.
When some
Yeah.
information need to get out to the public, this is when all that food start happening. All
I
the
agree.
trials and tribulations, these storms start coming out. But it's okay. It's okay. Like I said, next week we're gonna also have another phenomenal guest. Uh, famous quote: "You just don't know which angle we coming from." I'm gonna close out with my famous quote. Once you discover how unique you are, you begin to change the world around you.
Absolutely.
So Go ahead, get your health in order. Show people how unique you are. For stressing you out tonight, I'm gonna do a special promotion tomorrow. We're gonna call it Ebony 2025 for stressing y'all out. We're gonna give you 25. We're gonna give you 20% off of that breast cancer awareness shirt. Cause I've been stressing y'all out this whole live. So I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna give you a discount on that shirt just for this weekend now. Just from Friday to
Thanks for
Sunday at
Sunday.
midnight. Okay, the promo code is gonna be Ebony 25. You're gonna get 20% off. I'm gonna do a special promotion tonight. I'm gonna release it tomorrow morning. Okay,
All right.
so you gotta include her name in there to get the promo discount. It's gonna be on the website. If you know me in person, you'll probably get the discount either way. So just go to the website www.royalblossomcommunity.co, and we'll see you next week. Appreciate you, Auntie.
All
You know you
right.
clowning the most in this chat. We'll
So,
see you later.
all right, y'all have a good night. Thank you so much, Brother Terrence, for having me on your podcast.